Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Prismata. Let's jump in the queue and see what Yedidia is up to. We just played in the last couple of games. He sort of reminds me, I thought there was a player named Adam Yedidia, actually, who like played in the Kickstarter days? Or maybe he was a Dominion player? I don't remember. But I just looked on Prismata stats in between episodes, and he's like a tier 8 player who only started playing beginning of this month? No. June, it looks like. Am I correct? Yeah, it doesn't have any entries for him before, what, 3 months ago, I guess? Yeah. And he's played 8 ranked games ever? Well, only 8 games submitted to Prismata stats, I guess. Interesting. Anyway, a pretty reasonable player, I think. Should be making it to Master Tier fairly soon. I already forgot what happened in the first game. Oh right, he went for like super high econ in that Xeno set. Yeah, okay, so made some tactical mistakes in both games against me, but had a reasonable read of the set in both cases. Here, both players are going nuts on Teslas. Why has this occurred? This does not seem like a set that would encourage that sort of thing. There's a ton of soak here. I guess they both got a lot of drones. Huh. I would have liked to see some more kinetic drivers. But okay, add a plasma fire on as well, sure. Flabbergazda. We got what? There's a lot of soak in these two units, and even Grimbotch is kind of like soak, right? And Reservoir likes that kind of game, but I think Lance-Tooth kind of speeds things up too much. For soak to really be that relevant. People, and there's no real absorber. Well, maybe Lance-Tooth isn't that great because there's no absorber that's good. Maybe you just go like botches in to try to kill your opponent as a line. Like botch plus nothing. Lance-Tooth is not that amazing against botches, honestly. Maybe you can have... Well, it kind of is, because on the turn you hold back the botches, they can they can build Tooth or something, but that's pretty late in the game to be able to buy attackers, honestly. On those turns you often kind of have to be defending, because botches are putting on so much pressure. Yeah, I think like Fastimus into Tarsiers into botches should be fine. What would I add in if I could? Walls. Or force fields. Force fields are probably more realistic. They're a lot cheaper. If I can make him buy a Rhino instead of a botch, I'll be happy, I guess. Sure, buy both, whatever. But now I don't have to click my botch. Hang on, is this drone just like too greedy? Opponents attacking with both of these, and then they're going to be facing 3 attack. They'll build a Rhino and another botch. I'll be facing 4, and I have 1 NG and the botches. So I'll be in actually kind of a tough spot. Maybe I should try to make it difficult for them to do that, right? This way, they can't just build Rhino Botch. and attack with everything. They have to build 2 rhinos, which is a good win for me. Okay. I'm going to be in a similar spot, I think. I have to build 2 rhinos, but... Oh, I'm killing one of their rhinos this way. That's right, that was the whole point of this approach. I don't have to. I can just do this. Build 1 rhino and a botch. Yes, very good. Making life very difficult for my opponent already, it seems. Here I'm killing 2 attacks, so this again defends, and I can just carry on like this forever, and I think I just win from here, right? Botch to hold back, and then they're like not really attacking me, so here I kill 2 attacks, so they have at most 3, probably only 2. Yeah. Let's just get in a conduit here. I guess we'll take a break while we wait for Flabagazda to reconnect. It's not me, right? I'm connected to the internet? Yes, very good. Usually it would say, like, server taking longer than usual to respond, if it's you, but... one never knows. Yeah. Not sure how I wound up so far ahead exactly. This is killing 1 attack, so they have at most 3. But this defends perfectly, so they won't bother attacking with anything. I'm fine with that. And I'll throw in a sentinel. Why not? Let's get some more soak. Might as well hold all of this back. It doesn't actually kill anything. Alright, a quick one. I don't know if my read of Grimbotches was, like, right, but it's at least playable. Like, everything here sort of struggles to deal with Grimbotches, I think. And I've talked, every time I do this, like, Red Rush with Botch or Vor, I never know, like... And I talk about it every time, too. Like, should I get 1-1 or TT or 1T? I'm usually a 1T kind of guy. But, you know, I mean, here, the Grimbotch, like, looks ineffective because they just build a Rhino and absorb it, right? But hey, it means they had to build a Rhino. And... then I am therefore free to hold back my own botch and add some more attack. I think actually this was a big turning point here. I didn't, like, I almost missed this play, but thinking more carefully about my opponent's turn with the aim to disrupt it made me realize that, like, a second botch here is really, really good. I don't like, in general, buying 2 botches on the same turn, because you tend to have too much defense on the turn when they're all dying. But when that 1 extra point of attack right now makes a big difference, it's well worth it. And here it is, right? It does make a big difference, because they can't just buy Rhino Botch unless they also hold the drone. This 1 extra attack makes a big, unpleasant shift in their next turn. And that's something to keep an eye out for, is What's your opponent going to do? How are you going to respond to it? How can you prevent them from doing something that's difficult to respond to? And the fact that they had to build 2 rhinos and defend with 1. So I think that actually the better line would have been to build just 1 rhino and a botch and hold a drone. And admit that, like, you've been droning too much. That actually was the big problem this game. From my opponent, I think. This drone was too greedy. Was this the same turn that I considered a drone on this turn, and I realized, like, wait a minute, that's too greedy. We need engineers. And my opponent should have, I believe, done the same calculation last turn and realized, like, wait a minute, I'm going to need defense next turn. If they had 1 extra Engie instead of this drone, then they could get Rhino Botch, and, you know, we'd have a ball game, right? It would be a lot more exciting. Let's say they do this, right? Now, if I get 2 botches, it's not actually all that impactful, is it? Like, yeah, they have to lose 3 Engies, but they can still just build Rhino Botch and attack me with everything. More Engies, say. Now I'm the first one who has to do something awkward to defend. Do I hold a drone, or do I hold a botch? Do I build a second rhino? Probably hold a drone is better than any of the other options. And okay, now my opponent has some awkward choices to make. And you might have to do something like this, even. Pretty drastic, but, you know, that's life. It puts, you know, I'm under a lot more pressure than I was in the other line, and I don't have nearly as much attack to play around, or as much defense to play around with. I think I have to do something like this. I lose Rhino onto Rhino. When he loses Rhino onto Rhino, it's all very sad. And he's got this Rhino defending first, but then I have this Botch defending first, so... Oh my gosh, how does he defend this? What a nightmare. This does it, I guess. See, like, I don't know, this is a lot, I think, closer, and we're suddenly going to reach the sort of Grimbotch lull, where, like, neither player has any real attack because all their early botches died off. He's killing no attack. Did I over-defend here by buying a second Rhino? I guess it defends against the threat of him clicking this botch. Actually, clicking this botch kills a Rhino. Could be worth. Yeah, this is probably an okay gambit. I don't really want to click both of these Grimbotches. Alright, I can click 2 of them to kill a Rhino, but I think it's better to hold them both back and not have any defensive problems. So anyway, I'm just getting at, like, this game could have been a lot closer. I still think I'm winning because I have this Tarsier, which is like a big deal. And I haven't had to hold as many drones. I have more botch tempo stored up, but this mistake right here, in these sharp red games, where, like, you know, sharp meaning that small decisions have big ramifications, a mistake like this adds up very, very quickly to, like, being completely destroyed, which is what happened in the game, versus just, like, you know, looking like you're in a bad spot and probably losing. Anyway, let's move on. That was a nice short game. We have plenty of time for another. No games live! Help! What's Coffee up to? Playing against Masterbot. Fair enough. Unsurprisingly, looks like a convincing win here. With just substantially more attack. Although it's a bit awkward here, isn't it? Like, having to defend, and you don't have green. But you have like 5 or 6 attack and your opponent has 3, and like the drone counts are similar. How can you lose, right? Get some conduits for more soak, and wow. What's that all about? Steelforged clicks, maybe? I don't know if you want double wall. And I don't know if you want single wall. Maybe you want wall splitter? Flavigazda again. Second episode in a row of double headers, huh? So absorb denial is the thing here, with both thermite and lance tooth. Yeah, you go like DD, DDC, DDB, SG, and then you buy a Lance Tooth the next turn. Seems okay. I think that's a pretty normal player 2 Lance Tooth opening. It seems good. And we can like mix in Thermites at some point. There's really, I think, no excuse to go Colossus, and I don't really see Plasma Fire as that good, but if it is good, this line will pick it up, so... I also don't think Tarsiers are that amazing, but as player 1, you might go for a Natural Animus, I suppose. That leads somewhat comfortably into a turn 5 or 6 Lance Tooth. Whatever turn the Tarsiers arrive, you can have your blue by then. Seems playable, I guess. And you'd rather be building Tarsiers than Gauss Cannons, for sure. Okay. I got a little ahead of myself there. Hit S instead of B. Wanted to buy that splitter ASAP. Really? I mean, I could build a wall, but it doesn't really do much. My opponent would just Lance Tooth it, right? So like here. Actually, do I even Force Field? Here's the thing, I kind of want a wall next turn, but I also want a Lance Tooth? Maybe this is not so great. If my opponent clicks the Immolites and builds a Lance Tooth, then like I'm pretty happy. But if like, they click the Immolites, killing NGs, and then build some other attackers, I'm not happy. I guess I can just hold back the splitter as a defender, maybe? And try killing an NG? Well, if I'm doing this, I guess, I should just go for the Thermite line and say, yeah, help yourself to the engineers, I'll build a wall. This way I have access to blue next turn, which I don't really if I commit to getting the Lance Tooth instead. Okay. Well, these Immolites are actually putting quite a damper on my plans. I sort of dismissed them because like they don't usually add that much to the overall plan. They're just something you get when it's convenient, but... And especially getting them this early against blue-green doesn't seem very good in general, so I didn't think about it. But when you have access to Lance Tooth, Immolite sort of has 2 different threats, right? And it's a little bit difficult for me to play around both of them. Okay, opponent is back. I'd love to see a Lance Tooth here. Nothing would make me happier. Good. Oh wow, and a rhino even. That's... I couldn't have asked for a more friendly approach. Now my thermite core actually gets value. Now, next turn, these will all have 1 life, or, the question is, can I, like, buy a Lance Tooth, right? And still produce a Pixie? Probably I can with access to a force field if I need it. Still have, like, 4... 5 threat, maybe? Maybe 6 in a really drastic universe. This handles that pretty nicely, I think. So I'll want a Lance Tooth plus clicking Thermite next turn. And the wall obviously is not great against the Rhino. Maybe I should have just not done it. Yeah, because they have stuff like this. I don't know. They actually kind of have too much attack next turn if they build Lights. It should be Tarsiers, right? And this wall obviously is no good. Oh, I don't like the drone either. Yeah. This seems like an okay play for my opponent, which I don't appreciate. They still have too much attack though, right? Are they holding back the Lance Tooth maybe? I think I can squeeze in a drone here. Although maybe it should be a conduit. No, I think I should buy an engineer. Maybe even 2. These will be off. This will be... They'll have 2 pixies, 2 rhinos, and a Lance Tooth. I'll probably want some engineers against that. I think they're holding some attack back here, although I don't quite get it. Yeah, and you hold back the Immolite as well, since it's not doing anything. Or maybe a Rhino? Probably a Rhino, I guess. But now I get a Tooth. Next turn I have 4 attack. I can do this again without clicking any pixies. But I have to prepare for the Immolite wave, so more NGs, right? Seems fine. Oh, next turn I have 5. Whoops. Well, yeah. Not sure what to do about that. I mean, I could just go ahead and let them get 1 absorb, I guess, but it feels silly to have messed this up. I could have tried to get a second blue instead of these NGs and try to build 2 Lance Teeth, but I think that that's like ridiculously optimistic. Just keep buying NGs. Next turn we have 7 attack, and I really can't do anything but blow all my pixies here. Hang on. Is it, like, possibly reasonable to do this? It kills 1 attack. I think the answer is no, it is not possibly reasonable. Next turn, though, we are going to have to just go in, I think. I could hold back a Lance Tooth, I guess, and do this same kind of turn again if I wanted. But it looks to me like they'll have some stuff that I want to kill with my pixies. Right? Like, this kills 3 rhinos that could be attacking me soon. it gives them 3 absorb instead of, yeah. I don't want to hold back a Lance Tooth to, like, oh my god. Is this for real? This is a legit play. I didn't see this coming, but it seems pretty good. Suddenly threatening 13 damage every turn instead of just this turn. And like, oof. This must be good. I'm pretty low on tech next turn. I might conceivably have to hold a Lance Tooth back against all this stuff, like... But, I don't know, I think I like this. Okay. Well, that was a play that just sort of fell into my lap. I don't know. These Immolites feel really silly to me, but they actually presented a pretty serious problem. That, like, I don't know. I think my opponent did not take advantage of the situation, though. Given that I didn't build any defense, I think you should just kill them. And like get out a Thermite Core and 2 more Immolites or something to start building up attack that I can't absorb. Or maybe like a Rhino and an Immolite if you want to give my Thermite Core some respect and give my Gauss Cannon some respect. I don't know. I think this, like, neither of us is absorbing, so why should we pretend we're going to? Here, the wall clearly doesn't absorb because he doesn't click the Rhino, but it's kind of was useful to have it in order to be able to do stuff like this on the next turn. Yeah, I think opponent was just a little bit too focused on like the absorb denial stuff and was holding back a bunch of attack to make it work. Would have been better to just give up on absorb denial and just attack like I did here. Once it becomes impossible to actually do efficiently. And then this Plasma Fire play, like, oh, I don't know. I feel pretty bad that I didn't see this coming. I just knew I needed as many NGs as I could get against whatever was coming. And that clicking the Pixies seemed good. I didn't see that it reduced my opponent's attack to an amount where I could afford to build a Plasma Fire. I don't know. Well, hang on. I guess I built a Plasma Fire on the turn I popped the Pixies, so I did see it, but... yeah, just killing all that stuff that they needed makes life pretty much impossible. Okay, well, that was an interesting one. Base +5, and we bought 4 of the units. I don't know. They all seemed playable. I'm definitely not like an expert at this absorb denial stuff. Like, I feel okay about it, but it's still very uncomfortable to like not be defending enough to absorb and to be like spamming NGs to counteract the defense your opponent is building. Maybe like at some point 2 of these NGs should have been another conduit so I could build more force fields and not have to spend so much gold on engineers. I could be selling my drones. I don't know. Well, anyway, it seemed like a fine performance, and we did win the game after all. Cool. Well, that'll do it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.